Good morning. It is Sunday morning, January 10th at 11:28 a.m. And I want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of Mac's Motivational Message. I hope this finds that your day is a great one. My motto is every day above ground is a great day. Today's message is entitled Shooting Your Azmuth. Now, as I do before every episode of this motivational message, I like to read a passage that I came across actually from a movie. I believe it was Coach Carter. This was quoted in that movie, and when I heard it, it really touched me on a very deep level. And I'd like to share this passage with everyone in the beginning of every message that I videotape every Sunday. And it's entitled Our Deepest Fear. This was created by Marianne Williamson. I believe every word of this passage really touches home for me and shows me that I'm capable of great things, and I really believe that everyone is capable of phenomenal feats of wonder, that you can reach any goal in life as long as you believe in yourself, that you have a great life ahead of you, and that any goal you might set, no matter how far out or how high it might seem or how impossible it might seem, that if you believe enough in yourself and you divert or ignore any negative influences from anyone, that you can and will achieve that goal. So that passage goes as follows. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. You playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people around you won't feel insecure. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. How many times have you seen a child that's just full of energy and joy and happiness, and they can make the smallest thing in the world seem phenomenal because your imagination is on fire and they can go anywhere in their mind that they choose to go? I find that it's somewhat sad, and I'm guilty of this as well, that as we grow older, we tend to forget to use our imagination, and we leave our childhood behind. And in some instances we have to, because we're adults and we have much more responsibility as a child would, but I don't think we should leave our attitude or our imagination or the ability to take ourselves anywhere. I really believe that, and I say this every week, if you can visualize what you want here, you can certainly hold it here in your hand, or you can reach that goal if you just believe enough in yourself. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what the term azimuth means, it's a navigational term, and it's defined as shooting a straight line between where you are and where you want to be. I believe that we are, as creatures, as human beings, we really control where we want to go. Now, on a personal level, I give my control over to God. He controls my compass, which way it points. Well, He controls the helm of the vessel that is my body, that points me in the direction that I feel I need to go. But whomever you give that control over to, or even if you keep it yourself, you can control which way your compass is going to point, and in turn, where your life will go from where you are now. Now, any compass in the world, I don't care um, how small it is or how juvenile it might be, it can be a simple compass on a watch, to a high-tech GPS compass they use in NASA. Every compass is designed to point north automatically. That's just how nature works. It will always point north. But what if your direction in life isn't to go north? What if that where you want to go in life isn't where the compass is pointing? Well, you can always change that. You can change where you want to go in life in an instant. Every day we have stimuli coming at us in all different directions, from the music we listen to the TV that we watch, to the people that are talking to us, to sight, sound, smell, taste. We're bombarded by stimuli every single day, even if all you do is stay at home and watch TV. If you're retired, if you're injured, if you just stay at home, whatever you do in life on an everyday basis, you're bombarded by stimuli every day. And every day we make choices. Sometimes they're not a life-altering choice. Sometimes it might just be what pair of socks you want to wear that day, or which pair of shoes you want to wear, or the clothing, the color, the design, the comfort. But we make choices every day that determines what our next day will be, or where we'll be the next day. Now, I've learned on this walk that even life-altering choices can be decided in an instant. Let me do an experiment with you. I want you to take about 30 seconds and look around the room that you're in. If you're in the living room, the kitchen, if you're in your vehicle, wherever you, well, stop if you're in your vehicle, but wherever you are, I want you to look around the room and look for everything that has a white color to it. Tabletops, the wall, the floor, everything. Just look around and count to yourself how many things are white in your surrounding area. Go ahead and do that. Now, when you do that, after you do that, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine everything you just saw that was white. Visualize it in your mind. Now open your eyes, and because your mind focused on what's white, you're going to see it instantly. You'll pretty much ignore, and you'll develop kind of like a tunnel vision on everything that's white. Now look at everything that's brown. You see how your mind changed that quickly? You focused on white, so you went the direction of what was white. Maybe it was the wall, maybe it was the floor, maybe it's the clothes you're wearing. But you can change that direction in an instant when you look for something that's brown. What does the Bible say about that? It's a very familiar and very old verse. Seek and ye shall find. If you're seeking out white, your eyes will focus on just what's white. Here's another example. Have you ever driven to and from work and you've taken the same route for months or even years, and then one day you come to a stop sign that you come to a dozen times before, and you happen to look over to the left or to the right, and you're like, has that always been there? Has that building always been there? Or has that sign always been there? Or has that storefront or that Walmart or that donut shop always been there? We tend to develop a tunnel vision and don't see what else is around us if you're focused on one specific thing. So if you learn to look beyond what you focus on or change what you're focused on, then your life will change. We seem to, people who don't really focus on success or who fail to reach that plateau of success, they allow people who shoot negative um, comments at them or negative thoughts at them. They tend to believe that, and that's the only compass that they use to take themselves through life. They'll use that negative feedback from people or even from yourself. And so you get this recording in your mind that, oh, I can't do that. I've tried it 100 times, or no one's ever done it, so it can't be done. We need to not only learn to redirect our compass in life, but we need to delete and reprogram our thought process in that we can do it. Statistically, for something to become a habit, it takes approximately 33 days to make something into a habit. Now, I don't know about you, but the older I seem to get, the quicker time seems to fly by. Like, I can't believe, when Christmas comes around, people will say to themselves, I can't believe it's already Christmas. Wasn't it just Christmas a couple days ago? So we need to take what you want to do in life, or the direction you want to go in life, and make it a habit. Think of it this way. 33 days may seem like a long way out there, but again, the older you get, time seems to fly by quicker. But even if 33 days seems like a long goal or a long way away, think of it this way. What if a habit that you've been trying to break, you started 33 days prior? You'd already be quit by now. Or if you wanted to go a certain direction in life, you'd already be there by now if you would have started 33 days prior. So even though 33 days may seem like a long way away, it really isn't. And if you make a habit or something you want to change in your life fun, it's easier to get there. Not all goals you have in life have to be something you have to do, or it has to be painful. They say that if you enjoy your job, you'll never work a day in your life. That's how I approach everything, even out here on the road. I've had days where everything went wrong. Interviews that were written in stone didn't happen, or even if they did happen, they were never shown on television because a bigger story came through. Or I might hit 20 or 30 steep hills in any given day, which I didn't plan on. Or something breaks off my cart or falls off or snaps off, or I lose something. But I keep a great attitude because I love what I'm doing. I really believe that the way you start your morning every morning will definitely provide the course in which your compass points that day. If you wake up in a bad mood, then everything's going to go bad that day. Whether you stub your toe on your bed as you get out of bed, or you cut yourself shaving, or a shirt you want to put on tears for some reason, or whatever event happens when you first wake up, or even during the day, and it just ruins everything. It's truly a choice to allow that moment to dictate your attitude throughout the whole day. I've woken up on mornings on this walk, or even in my life overall, everything went wrong that morning, especially on this walk. I've had my cart break a few times. I'm currently on my 4th set of tires, and the first 3 just gave me all kinds of trouble. They would go flat, or they would break, or they'd snap. I now have non-flat tires on my cart. My cart, the design, has been through many different changes until I got something that worked for me. In the very beginning of this walk, a handle would snap off, or I'd walk down the road and I would hear a ding, 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 and look over, something's falling off my cart, or and it, for all intentional purposes, I should have been upset or irritated. I just simply took a moment, took a deep breath, and just laughed because it just makes this walk that much more interesting for me. And every day is a challenge out here for me. No day is easy. Thank God for Candace, who's my volunteer, that is my event coordinator. Even plans that she puts in place and that I can confirm are in place aren't always in place. So, and that's how I see life overall. A good parable or a good metaphor would be the hills I climb out here on this walk. I never know what's on the other side of that hill. It could be 5 more hills. It could be a downhill all the way and make my day that much more comfortable for me. Or it could be a thunderstorm or a rainstorm or mud, or, I mean, there's just so many things that could be on the other side of that hill. But I approach the crest of that hill with a great attitude. Whatever's on the other side of that hill, bring it. And that's how you can look at life. Whatever's on the other side of your obstacle or your challenge, just face it head on and bring it. Will it always be easy? Absolutely not. There are days on this walk that I'm just beat beyond measure, and my body hurts, and I'm sweating, and I've got a sunburn, and my feet hurt, and I've torn open a brand new blister, or my heel spur shows its ugly head, or I have far more hills to climb than I even anticipated the night before. But it's my attitude that gets me to the altitude I need to be to cross over these hills. Another tool that I use to get through a day, no matter what the challenges are. I'm sure you've heard the old parable. It goes something like, there were those who complained they had no shoes until they saw those who had no feet. I've had the ultimate honor of speaking to a guy named Travis Mills, and I've mentioned him a few times before. If you get a chance, Google his name. He's a phenomenal human being. And I think he's about 22 or 23 years old. And if this is the first time you've heard me mention him, if you ever spoke to Travis Mills on the phone or even over the internet, you would find he's the most charismatic, optimistic, positive human being I think you'll ever meet. He was definitely for me. Every word that comes from this guy is positive. But the difference between Travis Mills and most people that I know, and include myself, is that an IED blew off all 4 limbs of Travis's body. Now you think about that for a second. When you have a bad day because your shoestring just broke, or because your boot sole just came off, or the shirt you put on is ripped, or you cut yourself shaving, or you stubbed your toe when you got out of bed, stop for a moment and before you get angry, before you lose it, and your day ends up being a day from Hades and everything just falls apart for you, think for a moment. Use Travis Mills as a good example. Before you lose it and you get mad that day, I don't care if you drop a book on your toe and it hurts like the dickens. Take a deep breath and think back to Travis. He has no toes. He can't shave himself. He can't wipe his own nose. He can't scratch his own head. He can't put his own sunglasses on his head by himself. He can't do that. He can't put his own shirt on or his own pants on. So before you get upset on how bad your day really is, think about Travis Mills. If you don't know anybody else like him, if you don't have a friend or a family member that's confined to a wheelchair or to a bed, or who's lost everything, or whose life is much worse off than yours, then use Travis Mills as your motivational platform and think for a second. Yeah, your day stinks. But compared to Travis Mills, just how bad is it? Really? How bad is it really? Even if you lost your job, your house burnt to the ground, all your friends and family turn their back on you, you don't have a dime in your pocket, and you slept under a bridge last night, and you have to eat from a soup kitchen tomorrow or today, think for a second. Even if all that happens to you, you lose everything, and you got to walk down to the soup kitchen and beg for food, at least you can walk. That's how I approach every day on this walk. That mountain, when I cross over that next mountaintop or hilltop, even though I don't know what's on the other side, bring it. Because I can conquer it, because I can walk over it where Mr. Mills can't. The direction you point your compass doesn't have to be what the compass says or what nature says. It's what you decide to do. Have you ever noticed, and this goes to being a positive person, have you ever noticed that people who seem to have everything, whether it be a rock star, a celebrity, a millionaire, a successful person, people who seem to possess that positive drive in life, regardless whatever comes down their path, they just bombard it with optimistic attitude. But especially those that are well-known, those well-known artists or rock stars or celebrities, people just want to be around them. They want to touch them. You look at any rock and roll concert on TV, and people are reaching up to touch this person. They want a part of that person. You'll find that if your attitude is positive, every day, people who are positive just want to be around you. They want to draw up that energy. That's one of the experiences that I've had on this walk, and I've had many experiences that will stay with me forever. But people who see my attitude out here, or that see me laugh because a wheel just fell off, or I'm laughing because my handle just snapped off again, or I laugh because I'm soaked to the bone in rain. If you look back a few days, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I walked that day through constant rain, and everything was nasty and sticky and heavy, and I was cold and wet to the bone, but I laughed about it because it was a lot of fun. A couple of folks, they couldn't believe how much fun I was having doing this. That's how I approach everything in life. I laugh about it. That's my attitude. I don't care. As the example I used a couple of minutes ago, you can walk up and you could steal my cart, which contains my computer, my food, my tools, my first aid, my clothing. Everything I own in life is in that cart, and you could walk away with it. And I may have to sleep under a bridge or in the woods for the next week and a half and beg for food. That's fantastic, because at least I can still walk up to do that. There are people who can't see, who can't hear, who can't speak, who can't feel a touch. There are people who are worse off than I am. What have I got to complain about? Take everything I own, and you will not see me complain. It'll provide a new challenge for me, an obstacle, and that challenge and obstacle may last for months until I find an end to it and become and go above it. But you're never going to hear me complain, ever, because I have nothing to complain about. Do my blisters hurt? Absolutely they hurt. My heel spur gives me a pain from time to time that I don't like it at all, but I laugh through it. I've said this time and time again, and I'll say this most of the time. Everyone's heard the old motto that um, laughter is the best medicine. And it's so true. It's been proven in journal after journal, study after study, that when you have a positive attitude and when you laugh at everything, or you just that's your outlook in life, you're healthier. Now, granted, I can still lose some weight, but I'm still healthy. I have a great attitude. When you possess that kind of attitude, your brain releases endorphins that help you fight off diseases. And just your overall, people want to be on the flip side of that. Think of it this way: do you know someone who is so negative that people, pardon me one second, that they can just suck the life out of a room? You know people like that. They're either at work or they're a relative or they're your spouse or friend. And even if you walked up and gave them $1 million in a bag, they're going to complain because it wasn't 1,000,001. That's where shooting your azimuth really comes into play. I believe you have two decisions to make in life every single day. Whether it's the job you have or the place you go or the food you eat or the clothes you pick to wear, two choices. It can be a negative choice or a positive choice. Now, I'm filled with positive attitude because I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and throughout the entire Bible, from cover to cover, it tells you that if you do the good, you're going to get good. I was taught once by someone that said, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Is it always easy? Absolutely not. Is this walk always easy? Absolutely not. There are days I'm just beyond exhausted, but I'm having a great time. This can be considered my job. I said a moment ago, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that has to do with life in general. Love what you do. Find something you love to do and do it. Again, the 33-day habit. I've been out here for more than 17 months, and I love what I do. So I'm beyond that habit-forming stage. We do things by what we do because of rituals. I bet, and anyone can do this, if you put 100 people in a line or in a group, and you scan over those people, chances are you can tell in that group of 100 who has the rituals of working out 5 or 6 days a week because they're in great shape. Their ritual reflects how they look. You can do the same thing with a success, whether it be monetary or it's in their career. You can see that in how they carry themselves. That's their ritual. Your ritual will equal which direction your azimuth or your compass is going to point. If there's a habit you're trying to break, change the ritual. If you're trying to lose weight, I once saw, and you'll forgive me, I think it speaks loud, and I don't think it's too negative to say it. I once saw in a fitness magazine that said, if you can't find 30 minutes a day to work out, you don't deserve a hot date. And I also saw an interview by a woman who lost, I can't recall what her name was. It was months and months ago that I read about her. She dropped over 200 pounds. And her attitude when she first started losing that first pound was, I have a choice. I can either get up 30 minutes earlier than usual and lose the weight, or I can stay overweight. She changed her ritual. The difference between someone who's successful, whether it be money-wise or career-wise, or they're a movie star or a celebrity or they're a motivational speaker, whatever they do in life, if they're successful at it and you're still struggling, I don't care if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. The one common denominator we all have is 24 hours in a day. If you want to get somewhere or change your azimuth on something or change your ritual and you have to get up 10 minutes earlier than usual, then you get up 10 minutes early. Or if you have to Stay up later than usual? Well, then you stay up later than usual. How bad do you want to change that azimuth reading? How bad do you want that goal? Well, let me go ahead and close for now. I hope that this helps you realize that we really control which way our compass will point. Nature wants us always to point north, only one direction. That's too narrow-minded thinking, I think. Or I believe that. You control which direction you want to take on that compass. I want to close by saying thank you all for your continued support on this walk. I always believe and will continue to believe, even though my compass points me in a certain direction every day, and I'm the boots on the ground going that direction, not one single step I take would mean anything if it weren't for every single one of you. And I owe you all so much. So thank you for your continued support. Keep me in your prayers. Keep those words of encouragement coming, because you guys help me feed on this positive stuff. You guys help me keep and maintain that positive attitude. I really believe that you get out of life what you put into it. Thank you again. And to my baby girl, mwah, Daddy loves you very much. Until next time, God bless and Semper Fi.